What's up, boys? This is your guy, Richie, at Lil Kickflip with 2 P's. And today I'm gonna teach you how to kickflip. That's the goal. The first thing you wanna do for a kickflip is you wanna make sure that your chain's pretty loose so your cranks spin at least 1 time. Preferably more than 1 time, but at least 1 time. The next step for the crank flip is the foot placement. You want to make sure you have your feet in a real nice place. You want your front foot to be a little higher up, like a little bit above level from your back foot. That's how you want your feet to be placed. You want the middle of your foot right about there to be on your pedal. And you can really put your back foot wherever you want, but I like to have my toes on my pedal onto how to do the crank flip. Alright, so to start off with the crank flip, like I said, you want your front foot a little higher than your back foot. So I have my pedal set up for that. And really, some people think you have to focus on your back foot, but all you need to do is focus on your front foot. So you want the middle of your foot to be on that pedal, right? And what you're gonna do to get your crank flips down is you're gonna point your toes down and flick. And like, as soon as you start to flick, you're gonna wanna take your back foot off. So you just put your toes down and flick. Right, so I just showed you guys how you're gonna wanna do the flick for a crank flip, kick flip, whatever. Now what you're gonna wanna do is you're gonna wanna learn how to do a laser flip, which is a crank flip without the hop. So you're just riding along and you flip your cranks. And that's a really easy part. So I'm gonna show you guys how to do that now. So all you're gonna wanna do for a laser flip is just have both feet on, make sure you're confident with your flick. You got your flick down, and you're just gonna be riding along. Just ride along, flick your cranks. It's as easy as that, just flick your cranks. Okay, so now I'm gonna move on to the real crank flip. You wanna make sure you have your laser flips dialed, or else this isn't gonna be as easy. So for the real crank flip, it's pretty much just a laser flip, but with a hop. So all you're gonna wanna do for your hop crank flip is, well, first you wanna make sure you're hopping high enough, because if you land and your cranks are still flipping, that looks stupid and ugly, and don't do that. You can only do that when you're first learning them. Don't ever do that. So I'll show you how to get into that. Alright, so you wanna make sure your pedals are set up, and when you're first doing your crank flips, you're gonna wanna, when you're doing them hot, you wanna pick up your front wheel, and before you pick up your back wheel, you're gonna start the crank flip, so that it'll be way easier to get a better flick. So you'll just flip your cranks right when your back wheel comes up. It's hard to explain, so I'm just gonna show you guys. So what I did there was I lifted up my front wheel, preloaded, got my feet ready to go, and just as I lifted up my back wheel, I started that flick. And once you flick, it's gonna like lift up your back wheel automatically. So what you're gonna wanna do after you've gotten the flick is, like I said earlier, for the laser flip, you wanna spot your pedals, make sure you're looking at them, or you're gonna get a nasty shinner. That's not fun.
You screaming like me up, please back me up. I got you something, start the flame and turn your body into dust. Smoke your body in the blunt, copy us, I light it up.
Alright, so I just showed you how you're gonna crank flip, and just a few more tips on these. You're gonna wanna just commit, basically. If you don't commit, you're gonna get a shinner, you're not gonna land it, and everybody's gonna think you're a puss because you wimped out on a crank flip. And basically the easiest thing to do is just flick your pedals, spot your pedals, and commit. Once you do this trick, it's really fun. You can unlock a lot of new tech shit, grinds to flips, flips into grinds, X-ride flip, pull bar to flip. I don't know. I can do a lot of interesting things with this. So I guess maybe I'll show you some now.
Gonna get a cleaner one.
Alright, that's it for the how to crank flip. So just fucking do crank flips everywhere, you know. Get techie, get jibby. Get some fire trendy Instagram vids. I'll see you boys later.